tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in. It's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man. Charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in. It's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Oh my gosh, above average at that.
Once you get over that Anoka County line and head north, your troubles are beyond you.
2nd and 5, Thunder from the Little Giants 34. Jimmy calling out the signals, takes the snap. It's a toss right to Deuce, and Deuce is getting to the second level. Stiff arms one defender, spins around another. Somebody tries to grab his flag, but he can't because Deuce has wrapped it around the strap. Defensive backs running out of the way, and Deuce is gone. Touchdown, Thunder. And Deuce hits his chest twice and points to the sky as he scores his 4th touchdown of the season.
Later.
Jimmy drops back, avoids the rush, looking over the middle. It's Deuce, and it's caught. A diving catch. It didn't look like he needed to dive for it, but Deuce intentionally slowed down in order to make the acrobatic, heroic catch. I haven't seen that move since a certain Dan Cole intentionally slowed down in Little League Coon Rapids baseball tryouts. Like father, like son, and that's a Thunder first down. For the first time all day, the Thunder forced the punt, 4th and 15, and Deuce takes the long snapping honors. Deuce snaps it. He snaps it to the up man. It's Robbie, and Robbie looks surprised. He hasn't seen the football all day, and Robbie's flag is snatched. What was he thinking? Now there's a man with a backwards beret running out on the field while talking on the phone. He's yelling at Deuce, and yes, Deuce did just yell back, "You're insane," because he tried to snap it to the up man. The Thunder give up the ball deep in their own territory. Not sure what Deuce was thinking there.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yes! We don't kid on this program.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Seriously, there's no such thing as nonstop nonsense, tomfoolery, or skullduggery. We've got 9 and 5-9. Maybe if Murray stands on McCarthy's shoulders, we might have a chance for success. Greetings, good afternoon, ack-ack-a-dack. Dak-tack-ack to you and yours. I'm Common. In for Tenneby. No, it's not Phil and Fuller. It's not Ethan the Eel McIntosh, who may have been active last night. I don't know. It's not Davy Joe Simser. It's not, I don't know if we have any other fill-in guys other than Brett Blakemore. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know what you've done is, I didn't really, request you or anything. You said you're going to be with me. And I said, okay. But no, it's not like I would, and I wouldn't have said, well, no, I don't want to work with Brett. I mean, there was a time, but that's changed because I think you sort of you found your footing.
Thank you.
Starting to sprout some wings. And I think you're comfortable hitting it farther and straighter.
That's for sure.
And you taught me something today.
Oh.
And that's what I really, by the way, Tenneby's going on a well-deserved family vacation. I'm, quite frankly, I'm glad I just need a break from Tenneby. Or do you think he needs a break from me? Which one do you think is more likely? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's right.
So maybe he'll be just excited and delighted to get back. I doubt that. I think he'd rather stay in California, but that's another thing. He's the interim producer. He's the bridge producer. He's the luxury producer and has been now for going on 20-plus years. But he's taught me a number of different things, most importantly, how to peel a banana the proper way. Do you know? Have you heard this?
No.
Well, like when you have a banana, do you tear the stem or do you flip it upside down and open it from the bottom? I always pulled it from the stem. And it always created issues because as you're pulling, it starts to squish the top, and it's just it's not a very the process just isn't that smooth. There's always issues with it. He taught me how to peel it from the. That's the most important thing he ever taught me. He also taught me you should use the calendar in your phone rather than what Rosen does. Rosen still carries the big, the Hallmark kind of. You buy it at a Hallmark cards place, or you buy it at a Office Max, and it's almost like it's about the size of a high school yearbook. And you open it, it's got big blocks in there with the date on the top, and then you write in there what you want. And I used to have one of those as well. And then I realized it's so much easier to just keep it on my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device. And there have been a few other odds and ends that Teneby has taught me. But what you taught me, it was funny. I was going to the talkback mic, about to ask you a question. This was during the Open, which, by the way, the Common Man Open has never been the same twice, ever. And I was about to ask you on the talkback, that's the little, the closed circuit device we have here. I can talk to you and you can talk to me, and whatever we say doesn't go over the air. It's just between the two of us. And I was going to say, what channel is Golf Channel on our satellite system? Because I've got no idea. As I was going to the talkback, I wished you would have waited one more second, because when I would have talked to you, you would have been standing, because you'd opened the door to come into the studio to ask me, do you want Golf Channel? And had I not seen you, I would have thought you were talking to me through the talkback, and you would have been standing in the door. But what you told me is, I said, what channel? You go, I don't know. I don't do it that way. And you picked up the remote and you talked to it. Yeah. You said, Golf Channel. Let me see if I can do it.
Yeah.
So do you have to press something, or do you just talk?
You press that middle button that has like the microphone icon, a lot like the talkback you can use on the free iHeartRadio, and you press and hold it.
Okay. Playboy Channel.
Huh? Trying to...
Playboy Channel.
Is it not working? It's like you talk while you're holding it, and then you let go.
Playboy Channel.
Oh, yeah, it did do it.
No results found. Well, what good is this? What good is this TV? Cartoon Network.
I bet that'll work.
Teen Titans is on. Love me some Teen Titans.
You're a big, is it regular show? Is that what you like?
Yeah, but that would be on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
It's not on right now. Golf Channel.
Look at that. You figured it out. You've mastered it.
Is this Siri, Lexi, Agatha,
I'm
Christy?
not sure.
Do we know which gal is locked inside this little handheld this remote? What's her name? Do we know?
I don't know if she has one.
What is your name?
No results found.
Are you the lady in red? I didn't know results either. Raquel Welch.
Where is Raquel Welch?
Not Hell Welch. Raquel Welch. You're not spelling Raquel right. No wonder you can't find her. It's not Rakell. You have meat sauce spelling skills. There is no show called Meat Sauce Spelling Skills.
Oh, there's not?
Oh, I bet there's this.
There probably will be.
Initials Game. Come on. The Initials Game must be on TV somewhere, right? It has its own dedicated channel, doesn't it?
Maybe it's only available in the Kansas City area.
Wait, hold on. Give yourself a rim shot, would you please? Thank you very much. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I, instead of saying Initials Game, I say Initials Game Network.
Oh, that's not far behind.
But that's not there either.
No.
Golf Channel. There we go. The Players.
The Players.
It's the Players. I was talking to somebody. Do you do, you don't have to answer if you don't want. Do you do any like betting on sports, on these websites that like the FanDuels and the such like that?
It's just not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me either.
It doesn't do me anything.
It's same with me. It just doesn't. And, there was a time I used to love to play cards. I've recanted that tale. When I was in my Haight-Ashbury days, we used to play poker all the time. 3, 4, 5 nights a week. Loved to play. That's gambling. But I've never been in a sport. Oh, baby brother Peter texted me. I said, every guy, all I texted was, every guy on tour's got that pasty white forehead. You ever notice that when they take their hat off at the 18th hole to shake hands? You can see their face from their eyes down is just like, it's almost sunburn, right? It just looks like leather. They take off their hat and they got that pasty white forehead. And then Pete goes, yeah. And then you know what he said? JT will win. You know what I texted back? Xander. Take a look at that scoreboard right now, my boy, and see who's at the top of the scoreboard.
That'd be Xander Schauffele.
Yeah, along with the Corey Connors character. They're both at 800. It's a jam-packed leaderboard. Young and Straka, Straka, named after a sore throat. Straka, they're both at 7 under. Ooh, is Connor? No, just to retain a share of the lead. And he makes it. And then the Bridgman character, who is another interesting story. He's kind of burst on. I remember it was funny. 2 weeks ago when he was at Pebble, when he was down on the beach, holding everybody up, announcer guy said, this guy's going to win sometime on the tour. And I'm thinking, dude, this guy, why do you think that? And sure enough, the next week he won. So he was spot on. Hodge, the Smotherman kid, I can guarantee you not one person on the Power Trip Morning Show selected Smotherman when it came time to pick, did they? Do you know? Because I know they do that for all.
I've got it somewhere. I'm sure Rosen was forced to take somebody again, but
my guess is nobody took Smotherman, and look, he probably won't win. But see, those are the guys you take a shot on every once in a while, because especially if you're the 12th person to select the last person. The Smotherman guy, 31-year-old kid who's never had a lot of success, and now he's tearing it up on tour. He's had some, I think. Didn't he win a little earlier? If he didn't win, I know he's had a couple of runner-up finishes or, top 5, so he can play a little bit. He's just a couple of strokes back. We'll keep you posted on it. There's plenty to get to, including the Viking quarterback Quandary, not Cadre, but Quandary has, I'm not going to say that it has now a definitive answer to what they're doing, but they're closer. We'll talk about that. Many other things. Little B, Feminine Touch of the program at 1 o'clock. And then Muss and Maxo in for Progrum Password at 1:30 right here on the Fan.
The Fan celebrates our $5,000 winning teachers in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher. It's powered by Donors Choose, and there's still time to nominate a public school teacher making a difference. They could be the next to win $5,000 to make over their classroom. Do it now, iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's Brett Blakemore. I forgot to ask you, and I apologize because I'm always concerned about your well-being. How is that plastic chaz? Is it still in your throat?
I still feel it every day.
As PA would say. Speaking of that, it's time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Spring is not quite here yet. I thought it was. False alarm. I played 2 rounds of golf. I thought spring had sprung. But now is the perfect time to plan your backyard upgrades. Maybe get gas for your snowblower as well. We're going to get like 2 feet, I think. Outdoor lighting, patio outlets, hot tub wiring, garage circuits, EV chargers. Affordable Electric helps homeowners across the Twin Towns get ready for summer. Schedule your project today at affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com or 612-331-VOLT. And remember, Affordable Electric, oh boy, not only are they powering your home projects, but they're powering me a little bit as well. I'm getting a little bit of, they're shockingly affordable is what they are. Now, somebody told me as the Kyler Murray steam to Minnesota was starting to build, that they said, Barney, PA, he's always been down on Kyler Murray. And from what my sources tell me, he's starting to warm up to the idea now. And that's funny.
It's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? He's sort of warming up to the idea.
He's watched more film on him.
Maybe that's
He's watched all 22.
Yes.
And we've figured it out.
I really like Kyler Murray. I really like what he brings to the soon-to-be big champion Minnesota Vikings. He's a terrific player.
Let's play.
We do now have some more, at least some clarity, because after the season ended and was disastrous for McCarthy for the most part, and what are the Vikings going to do? And then it really was the more painful part was to watch Sam Darnold, who was in a Viking, a franchise quarterback in the building. We know better than that. We're going to get McCarthy right where Sammy Darnold is, and we saw what happens. But now, so we knew there was no way this team could just say, you know what? We're going to go with McCarthy again next year as the number one quarterback without a shadow of a doubt. We're going to bring another Carson Wentz kind of guy to back him up. They had to bring in a guy that is at least had some modicum. Could you look up the word modicum for me? M-O-D-I-C-U-M, modicum. I think that means some. Like modicum, should be just modicum. He's had some success.
Modicum.
Sounds like
modicum.
Is it modicum? You know what it sounds? Modicum. You know, it almost sounds like some type of a constipation medication to me. What does it say?
It says
modicum,
a small quantity of a particular thing, especially something considered to be desirable or valuable.
Modicum.
Would that describe Kyler Murray's football career? Read it again. Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. A small quantity of a particular thing, especially something considered desirable or valuable.
And he's small. He's only 5'9", right? And he's had a small body of success. He had the Rookie of the Year. He was really good. He's had other moments, but he's been injury riddled. It just hasn't been. The career kind of wasn't going anywhere. It stalled out. I wouldn't even say he was spinning his wheels or flapping his wings and not getting anywhere. He played for the Cards, get it? He really wasn't. It was time in the Cardinals, I think, wanted to go in a different direction. He probably wanted to go in a different direction. And the Vikings couldn't go with another Carson Wentz or Max Brosmer. They just couldn't. Now, there is debate about whether there will be a competition or not between McCarthy or Murray. Is Murray in? Tennessee and many others think, Murray doesn't come here unless he's guaranteed the job. And I felt the same way, that he would probably have other suitors, and that it wasn't like, other teams would say, you're the number one guy. And with the Vikings, it's like, well, no, you got to earn the job. Chip Scoggins, esteemed columnist, Fish Wrap Factory West Side, and I can pull up the column. He basically is convinced that Kyler Murray is going to be handed the starting job. Let me find the piece here right now real quick and get you exactly what Chip, he and I, we text and talk more than most people know. He is a fellow Woodburyan. We spend plenty of time talking sports, watching a lot of basketball together.
While you're looking for that?
Yeah, I found it, but go ahead.
On this modicum definition, they give an example sentence.
Okay.
And it's, quote, his statement had more than a modicum of truth.
Yes.
Which is a lot like 9 to Noon's interest in Kyler Murray.
Yes.
It's a small modicum of truth to that. Thank you.
Very good. Well done. Here's what Chip writes today. The never-ending quest for a franchise quarterback continues. It's a conundrum that has haunted the Vikings organization, past, present, and perhaps into perpetuity. Come on down, Kyler Murray, your turn. Let's be clear about the latest new quarterback. He's here to start. Whatever is said or not said publicly by the team officials about signing the veteran Murray, he's not coming here to compete with J.J. McCarthy for the spot. The job is his for the 2026 season. I tend to agree with Chip, though, the organization publicly has not said that. As a matter of fact, I think the quote in one of the stories I read from O'Connell was, well, we got time to figure that all out. Meaning we've got, right now, apparently McCarthy, there was even a quote where he says, McCarthy's already looking good he's working at his craft right now. He needs to, right? He's footwork and eyes and all of that. And apparently he's working at it, and it's going great. He's doing really well. Of course he is. Well, we don't know. What else is he going to say? He certainly isn't going to say he's still struggling. We're going to be in big trouble. So maybe, again, I tend to believe that come September, whatever the date is for the season opener, the 5th of September, 6th, 7th, whatever, I think Kyler Murray is going to be under center. I truly do. I guess it could be McCarthy. You could have done worse. I mean, obviously means that Aaron Rodgers is not coming here. And I said last year I was all for Rodgers coming. And I said this year I wasn't quite as excited about it. It almost seemed like for me that ship had passed. There was more excitement last year when it was like, okay, we got to get somebody. We let Darnold go. We need, or Darnold left, and Danny Dimes isn't there. And it's like, we got to have somebody. And I thought acquiring Rodgers would be kind of fun. He would, the reasons against it I understand, because it would be all about Aaron Rodgers. It would be his team, not Kevin O'Connell's team. Every question, every news conference, everybody waiting to what Aaron had to say, waiting to what he had to say on the Pat McAfee show and all of that. But I thought coming off the season they had come off where they were 14-3, and then they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. I thought this team's built to win, man. I mean, can you really turn it over a young guy? Do you really think you can coach him up that much? Are you that much of a quarterback whisperer that this guy can have, not just a modicum, the word of the day, of success, but I mean, he can actually quarterback to the point where he looks like Jaden Daniels did in his rookie year. Obviously, that didn't happen. I think Rodgers, and I know people have come back when I've said I'm not as excited about this team coming off last year's 9-8 record as I was about the 14-3. And it's not just about the record, it's just about a feel. And I've had people push back and say, well, team isn't that much different than last year. And quite frankly, it's not. I mean, the interior offensive and defensive linemen are all gone now, so it is different. But I don't, and it's not just the 9-8 record. It's not just the record. I just don't feel so. So the Rodgers thing for 1 year with Murray, at least what you have here is a kid that's had success. And, we saw Darnold with a career. We've seen quarterbacks change locations and have career resurgences. Rich Gannon was here. He went on to be an MVP of the league and took the Radiators to a big game before. We've seen quarterbacks leave situations. And now, Stafford was always really good with Detroit, but he had nothing around him. First year he leads the team to a big game. Same thing with Sam Darnold. So, Ken Murray, who has had success in the league, can he get something from, because I know people probably get tired of me talking about I don't really believe that quarterback whisperer stuff. I don't believe anybody's a quarterback whisperer. I just think you can get, there are coaches that can get more out of quarterbacks and coach them up, and I don't believe that there's this magical, he whispers in their ear and suddenly they're brilliant, because it didn't happen with McCarthy. We have proof positive that it doesn't happen. But I don't mind the McCarthy experiment because it's a 1-year deal. It's really cheap, and you still have McCarthy. You're going to work him. So I still believe it'll be Murray starting for quarterback. But if it's not, at least you've given yourself a little bit of an insurance policy. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. They're shockingly affordable.
Get ready for a night of pure classic rock. The Guess Who? With special guest Don Felder.
Oh, sorry, I
was waiting.
Well, I was watching Schauffele pour in about a 30-foot birdie putt. He goes to -9. I picked him to win yesterday, by the way. Thank you.
Get ready for a night of pure classic rock. The Guess Who?
Feet. Let me think. Foreigner.
No, the Guess Who?
Journey.
No.
I'm guessing.
I'm telling you. Guess
Feels
Who?
like the first time.
With special guest Don Felder. All right.
Living it up at the Hotel California.
They're live at Mystic Lake Amphitheater, June 25th. Tickets on sale now. Get all the details, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Schauffele just poured in a 30-footer on 17. He is at -9 for the tournament. I'm just, how does a professional golfer, PGA Tour player, in a limited field event, ever miss the 17th green and not land it on there? It's a gap wedge to a 9-iron for every one of those guys. They should be able to hit a bucket of balls and never miss that green. I could sit there with a bucket of 50 balls and hit the green 40 out of 50 times. I'd hit the right there because I'm a chop. It's just like, I don't know how any of... And you know what? Spieth just couldn't stand all the success, could he? Did you see that shot he hit?
Oh, he's in the...
He had a hybrid and he just hooked it left into the pine straw or the wood chips, whatever it is. He's an interesting story. You know, there was a time where it looked like he was going to be what Rory McIlroy has turned into, right? Or Scotty Scheffler. I mean, he won 3 majors and 3 or 4 majors. And how many has he won? Can you look up Spieth? It's 3 or 4.
I think he's one away from the Grand Slam.
And he won them in a matter of, it was like a 2 or 3 year period. He was as good as anybody. And when was the last time he's won a tournament? Just a PGA tournament in general. He may have snuck one in when I wasn't paying attention because I'm not paying as close attention to PGA Tour golf as I once did. But he just kind of fell off the face of the golf earth, right?
He needs to win the PGA Championship to do the Grand Slam. He's won the Masters, the U.S., and the Open as well.
Oh, now he just chunked it into the bunker.
His last one was 2017, though. So that's
the last major, last time he won.
Last major.
So that was 2017. We're talking 9 years ago. When was the last time he won a tour event? Can you see if that's in there?
Let's see.
And so, you know, and every year.
2022.
So he's won last 4 years. Every time they show him on TV and announcers talking, they're going, I think this is the year. I think he's going to come back this year. They've been saying that for 9 years now. But nonetheless, that's what's happening there. Your Wild club, you're a big Wild fan.
Yes.
You and Teneby are the 2 guys I trust most when it comes to the Wild. You are the guys that I think are the foremost Minnesota Wild experts. They lose to Philadelphia last night. I think it was a shootout. Is that correct?
That is.
They were down, I think 1-0 after 1. They scored 2 second period goals. Who scored our goals?
Kaprizov and Boldy.
We call him Kirill
Kaprizov.
and Matt Boldy. I mean, who else, right?
Yeah.
2 of our star players. Then Philly squeezes one in the third, and then they win in a shootout. Right? Did it go to shootout?
Yep.
What happened with that? That's the second consecutive shootout I think we've lost. Are we any good at the shootout?
They're okay. Like Volstead is typically pretty good. I think.
I'm talking about the guys shooting.
Typically, yeah. But last night all 3 of them were close. Zuccarello's got saved by a toe.
Zooks.
Kaprizov missed the net, and then I think Boldy got saved as well. So, usually they are pretty good. I mean, they've made a thing of Wallstead celebrating shootout wins with his little sliding knee celebration that I love. So they just didn't get it done. They had plenty of chances, but just couldn't get that elusive third one.
Next up for your club?
I know they're at home, which is a nice little homestand for them. They get the Rangers tomorrow. That's a 5:00 start, and then Maple Leafs at home on Sunday.
Very good. All right. Almost sounded like Rosen. Text message came in during that last segment that said, please elaborate on the success, he has that in quotes, Murray has had. Oh gosh, I don't know. Heisman Trophy, Rookie of the Year in the NFL. I don't know. I wouldn't consider. I guess I don't consider those successes. I mean, you got to remember too. A lot of times, I'll explain it to the text messenger. Sometimes you can be trapped with a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans in a terrible stadium. I'll go back to Matt Stafford. 0-3 in the playoffs while with Detroit. Posted some really good numbers. Played well for the Lions, but just didn't have a lot around him. Goes to the Rams and he goes to a big game. So sometimes it's the players around you. And that's if you're a Vikings fan, look, I don't think the Vikings roster is like anything to write home about. They have some quality players on offense. They have Justin Jefferson. That's one guy that you can count on. Addison, okay.
He's on the field.
Yeah, he's on the field, and he does make catches, and he's a good weapon. It seems like he disappears for long stretches, but Hawkinson's is an eye tight end. Bringing Aaron Jones back, I'm not really against it, but it's not the kind of I don't know if we're going to see a bounce back year for him. Isn't he 30 or 31 now?
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, and it's again, many running backs, as we know, start to lose their impact after that. The offensive line, you got O'Neal on the right tackle. You're thinking Darisaw now should be completely recovered and won't have to take time off and, load manage his knee anymore. They like Jackson. I think they need a center. I don't know what they're going to do there. Right guard, I think, I don't, again. So defensively, it's hard to argue with what B-Flow was able to accomplish. It almost seems like pretty much any players you give him will give you an opportunity to play. So if you're a Vikings fan, you think, well, defense should be solid again, you would hope. And if they can get a little help on that offensive line and establish any kind of running game, what Murray does bring to the Vikings is an ability to move around the pocket a little bit. I don't know what to expect. I mean, look at full disclosure. No, he hasn't had oodles. I haven't used that word maybe ever of success on the pro level, but he's got talent. You don't win a Heisman Trophy, you don't win a Rookie of the Year in the NFL if you don't have some talent. Sometimes changes in attitude, changes in latitude will help a guy, and that's what you're hoping it is for Murray. So I guess what do I think all of a sudden it's start planning your spot where you're going to watch the parade route? No. But I think there were worse decisions they could have made, and that would have just said, we're going to keep going with McCarthy. He's going to be the starting, because I do think Murray's going to start. But you would give it to McCarthy, or you'd bring in a Carson Wentz kind of a guy, or some of the other, who are some of the other guys that, was it Malik Willis? No.
Malik Willis.
Yeah, but he's with Green Bay, right?
Well,
no,
he's in Miami now.
Yeah, but who's the guy with Green Bay? Your backup.
No, it was Malik Willis.
It was Malik Willis. Yeah. Okay, Malik. So Willis, that's okay. I think if you said, do you want Malik Willis or Kyler Murray, I would take Kyler Murray. I just think he's got more upside. Yeah. And I could be wrong.
Same with Geno Smith before he signed too.
If it's Geno Smith or Kyler Murray, I'd take Kyler Murray. Now, that could be proved to be foolhardy. He may end up being a complete bust or just eyed at best. I just think he's got a better chance to be like a Sam Darnold, resurrect your career. He said all the right things too. I think, he knows that if it doesn't go well for him here, he's probably a career backup at that point, right? Which isn't a bad gig either. I mean, the other thing is he's made a ton of money. The question is, can he make it last? That's the question. The Oakland Athletics guy, I think I read he was the 9th overall pick in Major League Baseball back when he was younger. And the Oakland front office said, we welcome him right now. If he wants to play baseball instead, we'll take him. Probably a wise decision to stick with football. There's more money there. This text message says, I don't know why people sit here and trash Kyler. I've seen no less than a dozen analysts show some incredible plays he made with the Cardinals. He's a Heisman winner, first overall draft pick that's under 30 years old. Cardinals are not a franchise where players tend to thrive. And I tend to agree with a lot of that. Showing incredible plays made while with the Cardinals, to me, that's meaningless. There's not a quarterback in the league or really a player in the league at any position where you can't put together a highlight package that you go, well, this guy's headed to the Hall of Fame. He's first ballot unanimous. You see it all the time, right? So I'm not, for me it was, I remember when 4 for 1. Who was the punt returner, wide receiver the Vikings selected a number of years ago that ended up bouncing around a little bit? The hell was his name? I called him 4 for 1 because we traded like 4 picks to get him.
Oh, that I don't. My first thought was Wongwu was his name?
No.
But it's not him.
No. This was a number of years ago. Maybe it wasn't even him. There was a guy the Vikings drafted where they showed a highlight package and a low light package. And the low light package was longer than the highlight package. In other words, they showed a couple of great catches. Then they showed
Cordell Patterson?
That's exactly who it is.
Thank you, 952 guy.
And I think it was, and if it wasn't, I apologize to CP if this wasn't him. Because the Vikings have done this on a number of occasions. They've drafted guys that have never turned out, including Troy Williamson and others. But there was a guy, and I thought it was Patterson, maybe it wasn't, where they showed a bunch of highlights. But then they also showed a bunch of lowlights, and the low-light package was longer than the highlight package. And it's like, well, then that, to me, that should lift some eyebrows. That, well, wait a minute now. And it turned out, here's one. This is where, and people, Common Gino Toretto was a Heisman winner, but he wasn't the Rookie of the Year in the NFL either. There's always exceptions to the rule. Kid for Auburn back in 1971. Never forget the name. I think his last name played for Auburn. I think his name was Sullivan. Can you look up 1971 Heisman winner? I don't remember who he was drafted by. Won the Heisman. He was a bust. Never turned anything in the National Football League. I thought
Pat Sullivan.
Pat Sullivan. Won the Heisman Trophy. Yeah, there are Heisman trophies. Kyler Murray won the Heisman and then became the Rookie of the Year. I was thinking of Laquan Treadwell. That's who I was thinking of. That's who I was thinking of. Not Cordell Patterson. It was Laquan Treadwell. I came on the air on Monday and I said, after the draft, and I said, that low light package was, the highlight package ran for about 25 seconds. The low light package ran like a minute and a half. And I said, sounds like this guy's got more questions than answers. And that ended up being the case. Never did work out here for him. So a buyer beware. And I hope people aren't thinking that I am planning the parade route. I don't know what Kyler Murray's going to be like. I mean, if you go by the way he's played as a pro, he's donezo. It's going to be another failed experiment of the quarterback position for the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings. But we saw what Sam Darnold did. He was terrible with New York. He was terrible. Was it Carolina or Jacksonville? I think it was Carolina, right? Then he went to San Francisco and he was a backup. And I read the quotes again yesterday, just not to be confused about where the credit should go of how his career resurgence. When he signed with Seattle, they had a news conference, with Sam Darnold. Welcome to Seattle. And the Seattle media blitzed him with questions. And all he kept saying was, this was after, the year with Minnesota. And if you look at every quote, it was, this is what I learned from Brock Purdy. I watched what it's like to be a professional quarterback, how it is, how you're supposed to let things roll off your back. If something goes bad, doesn't go back, how you prepare, how you do this, how you do that. I didn't see any quotes talking about O'Connell or Shanahan for that matter. And that's not to say that he didn't learn some things from O'Connell and didn't learn some things from Shanahan, but I just go by what the guy said. And he basically said, so in other words, could Murray be more Sam Darnold-like? Or could he be more Sam Darnold-like? Carolina to Minnesota? Or could he be more Sam Darnold-like Jets to Carolina, right? Where there was no change. He was just as bad at Carolina as he was with New York. Will Kyler Murray play like he did after his rookie year where he had one playoff game and he lost? I just I'm going to start calling him Johnny Football is what I'm going to call him, I think. I just
won Heisman too.
Yeah. I just think there's worse things. There were worse players that could have signed. I mean, do I just keep saying this every time we talk quarterbacks? closed circuit to everybody out there. Pat Mahomes ain't available. He's not. Jordan Love ain't available.
Thank you.
Joe Burrow isn't available. Lamar Jackson's not available. Who are some of the other really good quarterbacks?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen ain't available. Well, maybe he should be. He can't get that. He can't get that team over the hump. Can't get him to the big game. Not all on him, but those guys aren't available. So what do? You got to go, well, what else is out there? They say this is a weak quarterback draft. The only guy anybody likes is the guy from Indiana, and I don't even know how. Is he considered can't miss?
In some camps, in some circles. Yeah.
Because he certainly hasn't been, at least in what I've read, the minimal, and I don't do a lot of research. I think that everybody's well aware of that. In the minimal research I've done, I've not seen him being much ballyhooed like, who's the guy for the Bears?
Caleb Williams.
I mean, when Caleb Williams was coming out for the draft, there were those that were saying this guy could be not just, he's got a chance to be pretty good, generational quarterback. Generation's 25 years. That means he's got a chance to be as good a quarterback's coming down the pike in 25 years. First year he didn't look like it. But guess what? New coach, better offensive line, extra weapon or two. Next thing you know, were they in the NFC Championship game? They lost in the championship game, did they not?
Thought they were, yeah. I checked out once they beat my Packers. I was done.
Did they lose to Seattle or did they lose in the semis? I don't remember now anymore. But
they won a playoff game. They made a little playoff run. They look good.
So, no one's compared him to Caleb Williams, but now apparently next year, apparently the quarterback class looks to be better. It looks like to be, one of the Manning clan. I think it's Arch. He doesn't go by Archie. That's Grandpa, but Arch. And then there's a couple of other names I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but there are a number of quarterbacks people go, well, these guys are can't miss. Or as close to can't miss as you can get. Sort of like the class that McCarthy was in, where five guys went in the top 10. I think it was 5 in the top 10. It wasn't even 6 and 12, because didn't Nix come after that? Wasn't he like the 12th pick overall? Mm-hmm. So, and I guess you can wait around for that, but then you don't know where you're going to end up in the draft. So, and look, everybody knows, if you're a regular listener, this is the tough love covenant. I'm not a guy that does the robotic talk when it comes to the locals. I suggested they should trade Anthony Edwards yesterday. Talk about crazy. That's just crazy talk, right? So you're not going to hear a lot of duckies and bunnies out of me, but I don't mind the Murray move. Do I know it's going to work? No. It's like I know, because I had this debate with Barrero a little bit when we were talking about it in the passing torch. I said I'd look at the Murray thing sort of like I did Gobert. May as well try something. And Barrero said, well, yeah, but Gobert is a generational defensive player. Yeah, but they still gave up a lot for him. They gave up how many draft picks for Gobert and how many players? It was Herschel Walker-like. Now, Gobert played well and helped elevate the Wolves to the Western Conference Finals, not once, but 2 years in a row. So you can say that was a good trade that you may have given, and the comparison with Gobert and Murray is strictly with, for me, it's just, I'm willing to try anything at this point. The Vikings are 0-4 in the big game, 0-6 in their last NFC Championship game appearances. Same thing I said with the Wild. Okay, you're trading a lot to get Quinnesota. You're trading a first-round pick and 3 current players that were first-round picks. That's like Herschel Walker-like. But the team's been they've been out of the first round of the playoffs once, and that was back before goalies were required to wear face masks. That's how long ago it was. So I'm willing to try anything. And so I'd take a gamble on Murray. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if McCarthy doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then it's back to the drawing board. It's just the same old with the pro. What do you want him to do? I'll say it again. Mahomes ain't available. So let's break. We'll come back. It was Seattle and L.A. in the championship game, so the Bears got beat. That was when they threw they beat your team on the Hail Mary, wasn't it? No, did they lose that game? Remember when?
Yeah.
Cunningham was, no, not Cunningham. What's his name? Williams was backpedaling. What was that, the Green Bay game?
He did it like 5 times down the stretch of the season.
Anyway.
Just escaped. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings have lost 6 straight. And somebody asked me the question. Yeah, they've lost 6 straight NFC title games. The last 6 they've been in. Not straight, not in the last 6 years. I'm just saying they lost in 17. They lost in 2000. They lost in 98. They lost in 87. They lost in 09. That's 5. And I think there was another one in there somewhere, too. We'll break. Feminine Touch of the program. Lil B joins us next. Common Man Program on the Fan.